The first day I saw him was when we were in first year of high school. He was one of my classmates. During that time, he had a girlfriend who was also our classmate. Also my friend and up until we reached the 8th grade. They were always together, always talking whenever what they want to say at the school. On those days, I did not really pay attention to them because we were not close at the time, like just indifferent. And I was not thinking about relationships back then because all I wanted to do was study and relationship could wait. Then came the day when it was announced that a pandemic had started because of the spreading disease called COVID-19. And we lost contact with classmates and school. Everything went online. From that point on, we did not see each other as classmates anymore. After a month year in 2020, we moved up to the 9th grade, and that's when he transferred to another school. In January 2020, I posted something on my Facebook story, and out of nowhere, I got a notification of a message on my messenger, which I did not expect it was from him. He suddenly messaged me, and I was surprised, thinking, why is he messaging me? We're not even close. So, I ignored it because I knew he had a girlfriend and I respected their relationship. But I did not realize they had already broke up. Soon after, he kept messaging me, talking like we were already in a relationship. But in my mind, I thought he just wanted to be friends or get to know me, since we were not that just close at the time. Our conversation eventually ended that night because it was already late. The next day, he started talking to me again until he finally admitted that he had feelings for me, which I did not know about. I could not believe he liked me. As we kept talking, he would slip in jokes and pick up lines that had a bit of flirtation. But I just let it go. Not being aware of the pick-up lines, I was not familiar with the whole romance thing because I was NBSB, which means no boyfriend since birth. But I gradually noticed that he did have some feelings for me. I did not expect that he would finally confess to me. At the time, I was starting to wonder, is this for real or just a joke? Is he serious? From then on, he would update me every hour, and that led us to our talking stage. But as time went by, I found myself starting to fall for him too. Sometimes, I'd catch myself thinking, oh, so this is what it feels like to be in a talking stage or in a relationship. Our conversations continued for a month. After how many months, he suddenly stopped reaching out to me. He no longer responded to my messages, and because of that, I found myself constantly waiting for his updates. Because I had already fallen for him too. I decided to just let it be maybe he was busy or had something important to do, or maybe studying and could not find the time to use his phone. Days passed and still no update from him. The excitement was gone and his messages become cold. It felt strange because it seemed like he no longer had time for me. I felt disheartened when I realized he did not seem happy talking to me anymore. And the spark that was once there had disappeared. I became suspicious, realizing he seemed to have no more time for me. I felt disheartened when I realized he was not as happy talking to me anymore. There was no more excitement involved. Then, unexpectedly one day, I found out something that completely broke me. That's when it sunk in, I discovered he had been talking to someone else. It felt like he ghosted me during that time. And I couldn't help but wonder, what did I do wrong? What did he deceive me? For me, I really hate being lied to, even though we were not officially together yet. I did not expect him to do that to me. I tried to comfort myself, gaslighting myself with thoughts like, it's okay, maybe he was not the one for you, or maybe there's someone who deserves you more. That's what I kept telling myself. After a few days, I finally started to calm down. I was not thinking about it anymore because I had already moved on. My mind was at peace and I stopped dwelling on everything that had happened. It was then that I realized there are really parts of life that are hard. Like God was testing me to see how much I could handle. And I also came to understand that not everything or everyone will choose you. That's when our conversation stopped for good. Grade 11 year, we were both attending the same school already, which meant I saw him often. After a few days, he suddenly reached out and messaged me again. At first, I ignored it because I did not want to talk to him anymore. I was still dealing with the emotional trauma at that time. I chose to give him space, hoping he would reflect on the mistakes he had made. So, after a month, he messaged me again, and that's when he realized the errors he had committed. He apologized and expressed regret for everything. At that point, I decided to talk to him and ask why he had acted the way he did and what his reasons were. After some time, I forgave him and gave him a second chance, under the condition that he would never hurt me like that again. We both promised that he would not repeat his mistakes, and we gradually resumed our communication.